Boris Johnson's cabinet reshuffle is being torn apart by his special advisor Dominic Cummings and his girlfriend Carrie Symonds, with the pair reported to be at war over the matter. Treasury sources say Ms. Symonds, 31, is against Mr. Cummings and his aggression towards ministers, which she believes to be damaging to her 51-year-old partner Mr. Johnson's image. The rift is said to have escalated recently when Mr. Cummings ordered the Prime Minister to sack two ministers with close links to Ms. Symonds, Chancellor of the Exchequer Sajid Javid and Defence Secretary Ben Wallace. Mr. Johnson refused to sack Mr. Javid, who has had his own disagreements with Mr. Cummings, yet the future of Mr. Wallace is not yet known. The Mail Online reports, a Treasury source said, there was always a risk that Carrie and Dom were going to fall out and that the PM would get caught in the crossfire. Dom is trying to run the government the same way he won the referendum campaign. He doesn't care who he insults if it makes the government more effective. Carrie is just as determined and is very loyal to her friends. Insiders are concerned Mr. Johnson could be caught up in a power struggle between the pair, who are both reported to have strong personalities. Ms. Symonds is a skilled networker and environmental campaigner whose views on animal welfare and the early release of violent criminals have influences those of the Prime Minister. Mr. Cummings was the Vote Leave mastermind portrayed by Benedict Cumberbatch in a Channel 4 film, Brexit, The Uncivil War. He is known for being exceptionally frosty with journalists and has been accused of interfering with Mr. Javid's work as Chancellor. Last week it was reported Mr. Cummings has parked his tanks on Mr. Javid's lawn by getting involved in budget. Sources told The Times that the PM's top aide is working pretty much full-time on what should be included in the budget. Last month ministers were told they would be judged on how well they did their job and told not to tour the TV studios or lunch with journalists. It is understood Mr. Johnson could move Chancellor Sajid Javid but may wait for a subsequent reshuffle because the budget is due next month. A senior source said, Javid is seen in Downing Street as a placeholder for his deputy, Chief Secretary to the Treasury Rishi Sunak. But Rishi needs to show how well he performs in the spending review first. International Trade Secretary Liz Truss is expected to stay in the cabinet along with Leader of the House Jacob Rees-Mogg after early speculation that they were returning to the backbenches. However, the only cabinet minister guaranteed to keep his job is Transport Secretary Grant Shapps. A source close to the Prime Minister said, Downing Street has been impressed by his grip on the portfolio, and his disciplined approach to METI.